Thanks, Shoni. Cool.
It's the down arrow. Got everything.
Oh. All right, awesome.
Good, how are you?
Great. Okay, Courtney, I'll let you take
Hi.
it. Where's your clients?
Doing from home.
Great.
Little in this morning, yeah.
Really quick, she won't brag about herself, so I will. Courtney is one of the top agents in degree, and recently her master's in real estate development. So she has she also is the owner of our Eagle, and
Love it. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I do. I know, but not everybody.
I've been in real estate for a while.
Yeah.
Busy, not. How's that?
I love that. But Anita's thinking about coming over to Keller Williams. Okay, so we got Bill, Josh,
claims art.
Art. Tell us about you a little bit.
What do you want to do?
Are you just getting started in real estate? Have Cool.
It just seemed like maybe I like to take.
Yes. Good.
No.
You currently at?
I'm with a little realty corp with Flex City.
Okay. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Love that. Have you gone through the whole Ignite program? Okay. Right. Yeah, Jordana's been in. You decided to join her. Why did you just? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just go all day. I love it. You guys learned some good things today in this class. I said I've been in real estate since full time since 2016. Prior to becoming full time and going, so I taught high school English for many years, college, and a couple of online colleges. So we're gonna jump right in. Try to just flip through these slides so that we can do some of the other meat of the business and how it relates to Utah. Our environment. So, all right. So we're gonna in the appointment, our pre-listing packet. What does that look like? A listing appointment. What happens when we? What does that look like? And then any that you might have along the way. So program, our we have, I don't know, kind of rotate around the classes, and most of, well, all of the agents who teach those classes are a certain GCI in order to be able to teach the class. I think it's really cool because classes, we apply it, we teach you how we do our, and so if you ever come to another, go see whoever the instructor is for that. If it's not, and I would go because it's helpful to, it's helpful for me to see how a bunch of different people do, and then I take nuggets how that would work for me in my business. So have online, we have a KW Westfield, and on that there's older videos because we, so they'll put them up on YouTube, and you can go back and watch other people. One person is Becca Summers. She does a really, really great presentation, and I would, so Becca is first down in the okay, so someone's happy. Hello. Okay, so while leads are vital to your seller, listings are critical to your ability to the lowest cost and highest net. Why do you think Gary Keller would say something like this? Any idea why? It's listings.
If you're listing.
That's right. Yes. List to live. Yeah, so it book, what we sometimes refer as Bible, business on listings, and say about 50%, maybe a little bit more, are listings. So I think but then, you know, you have a seller who's going to buy, right? They're always amazing. All right, so what? Yeah.
About another aspect. That means that sounds like they're mimicking. So you're kind of
Yeah.
buy as well. Whereas
Mhm.
not a one.
Yeah, that's why those are, because it's like a double-ended deal, basically. Yeah. So, and many different sellers right now who are doing that. So 6 deals in one, or in double the deals. Okay. All right. First, let's talk about what heard. There's different ways to SOI or in your lead database a system where it's like A, B, C, D. You kind of rank your leads. Your A's do business in the next 2 weeks. It's like your low hanging fruit, right?
Tell me what it is.
What is it? Somewhere.
Keller Williams.
It's like one success or something like that, right?
One, K, two wins. Capital L E T. Lowercase e t, capital K, capital I N 99.
You say that again?
Capital L, lower, capital K, capital W. 99.
Let
So it's-
KW 99.
Okay, win.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
The 3 L's of the MREA is the Red Bible. Leads. So the more leads we have, the more listings we have, we can leverage our time, which listings is that's like trifecta of 6. So this is just some of the great things about having a listing. So out of our business, when you get into real estate, you realize we're selling homes and we're selling, right? But a big is we're marketers. You have to learn how to market yourself. You have to learn how to generate leads, right? Way to generate leads. It is more marketing, the more signs and more yards see you, they see your face or your name, and they're like, oh, that person's in real estate. It's just more marketing opportunities. People are driving by, they see the house. Oh, I want to see that house. They call you off the whatever, however you have it set up on your sign. You have more time. So what we mean by that is houses. So I don't want to ever like listings are the easy way because they're not. You get to have more control. There's a lot of, for me anyway, there's a lot of, once we get it live, right? Like a lot of prep work on my part to help a listing go live. The cool thing is I have all sources in place. Everything goes out. We plan, but there's agents, right? I don't have to like be running over there every 10 minutes and every day or every couple of hours or whatever for me. So that's the cool thing about, not to say that we don't ever have to show a home, and we might have more opportunities where we get to here at Keller Williams, we do have do limited agency. The agent can't represent both sides of it. So for me, in a situation like that, and I show a home, talk about if they want to buy it, maybe at the lister and they'll be unrepresented, or I can refer the sales to take it from there. Oh yeah. So Dean can be the limited broker, but the same agent on both sides.
Now, is that a
That's
Keller
just a
Williams, or
Keller.
is that-
Yeah, that's our office. There's a lot of risk involved with. I just don't feel right about it. I'm there for my seller, and I want to. It's hard when the lines start to become, our fiduciary duties. It's a headache. So, okay, it maximizes our we have, the better. Seller listings, you're on the front, and properly marketed seller listings bring you more. Oh, great things to remember. Okay, so the 7-step service cycle is first, after we've generated our leads, call them, we're going to convert them. Okay. Converted the lead, we have a listing, or we have a listing. So we're going to go to an appointment listing packet for our potential, and then we're going to show up to the list and your value, and then they're going to, the idea, the object of the listing on the appointment. So we move on to servicing and work. I help them with prepping their house, and if there's any, my husband, and he's also a broker, we work together, we're a team. Part of our value proposition is he's also B100 licensed. So if there's any construction things, we can, getting ready to go live soon, and whole side, like one of the fence side of the fence was totally like down, and then this back side, like a foot behind it, is like a concrete fence. Not saying that it's like 8-foot concrete wall, and it's like the nice paneled ones. What's going on here? Like, why do we have this one? And they're like, oh, well, we went out there and we tried. It's impossible to go down. And my husband's like, not impossible. He's like, and so anyway, yesterday he was over there with our young adult sons, and they were in the part that's all trashed on the side, and they're going to go rebuild this side. But now, really nice, pretty back. I mean, it's just going to look so much better. So those are things that we do. Okay, so as a lot of times people need their carpets cleaned. It's a service that I provide for my clients. So we'll get the carpet cleaners out, and we'll take windows cleaned if they need them. We get house deep cleaned. We need it. In prep, before we do any kind of staging stuff. For me, I do 2 different things. Stage and what's called a full stage. It just needs, some pillows here, some throws, plants, maybe some artwork, stuff like that. Full would be probably, or we gotta just, the furniture isn't up to make it shine. So we might ask him to take a moment. Or sometimes it's a combo of the two. Maybe it's a little bit more than a fluff, but not. There's people in our office who do staging. If you don't want to do that on your own, do consultations for the client. Oftentimes, it's more about just going through and like helping them personalize and deep clean. So rearranging furniture around to those better, so it's going to look better for photos, that kind of thing. So well, you don't have people
With those services, you said you offer them to all and you pay for them.
I do.
You take into account it's a, you don't really have them, they're like $200,000 home.
I know.
Well,
I mean, clear eating that I'm listing up in West Jordan, it's less than 500,000. That's even a referral, so I have to pay a 25% referral fee, and I'm still doing it because it's me, it's my name. I can't go in and do a So, but that's crazy in me, okay? So I think, like the people who are, I've done that with some like photography. I offered that as like a closing gift. We worked out gift idea. I did a photography deal where I had photographer come in and take pictures, put new artwork on their wall. Gift. And I worked out some kind of deal with that. Although our office, we have a vendor list, and a lot of the people that we use are just yeah. Yeah. Oh, good. Mhm. Coming up, and design and have more not modern furniture. Furniture for comfort. Like, uh, then no, no, so in that case, ouch, and I'm probably gonna bring in something more modern, make it fit the house, right? But most cases it's like hands that we might have them take out if the bed, sometimes people have way too many things in a bedroom. Feel like 40 dressers, some of that out and figure out.
Sentimental.
Right. And that's her style, and that's great, but we gotta just take out stickies that we want out, keep the rest, and so I love that idea because that's a big list, and then like send them over like a punch list of, and I think the stickies are so much easier now. I'm like, brilliant thing.
Quick question on that.
Yeah.
How overall value of a house? Is it like a significant difference? You think a little nicer on the inside or more offers potentially?
do. Okay, in actual terms of money, value, maybe, yes, but the sellability is
Got it. I mean, she looks good and meet you. But if you're not attracted to it,
Yeah.
well, I mean, hi, how you doing?
yeah, like you're going on a hot date.
No.
How are you going to dress up to go meet that hot date? Or I'm going for this job opportunity of a get that job interview. I'm going to do everything to look good, have all the things in place so that they're like, this person is amazing. I want to hire them, right?
They come in.
I actually haven't applied for it. The last job I applied for was probably in teaching at a school in Canyon School District. Okay, so her house is the same idea. So Susie gave an example of real. Actually, it did increase. First, it did increase the value. It's like somewhere in Spanish Fork, somewhere down there. She had another. It was a brand new, beautiful home, and they put tons of house, like molding. Been on the market for I think 6 months. Had dropped. And this was, I think it was like here. He called the builder. I'm getting ready to drop the price to $790. Just gotta get this house off my books. I took a look at the listing. She's like, no. I'm gonna stage this house. We're gonna see or A65. And it's been on the market. We've already dropped. And now and she's like, no, it just needs staging. So she's into shape with her staging within 2 weeks at 860, whatever. So
Not calling her.
I'm sure. Yeah. So I mean, that's a real example. It counts, like it mattered. It's really hard sometimes. I mean, yeah, we see builders and they have, right? Well, they said also been maybe in a shortage. They might not sell and they may have to stage. So Ben, he worked for Woodside Homes. And it was like 28-ish. So really like before still a good market, but they would have some homes that would sit and they always a vacant house or a new home that was finished that was sitting without furniture in it. To just see helps just them to visualize like, okay, it's like, you know what I mean? Like when you come into an empty room, small, that's not going to work. But then and there's 2 nightstands plus I didn't realize this room was so big. Or the I listed with a builder last year, the plan was real, it was a beautiful entry. So you walked straight in and there was like sit right here when you walk in, there was and this like odd shaped that then you walked through to the nice open floor plan with the living room and the kitchen. So this odd room, I'm like, what are we doing? Like, we got to get this house staged. So like, what is this? So can it be a formal? Can it be, what can it be? We got to get structure. Okay. So this, yeah. Then we get it activated. This, get some offers and negotiate, get us all the way to contract to close. And then part of this seller service cycle, okay, we just did an amazing job helping for them. Now what? Gonna forget about them? They turn and burn leads. Me, I'm all about you work with me. We're creating a long lasting business relationship, and I want to help next time you go and sell your house and the next time. So, right. So you got to have some kind of post-close system where you can keep contact them year after year after year. So for me, we do a lot of things. We do newsletters, postcards, events, try to do at least all of my past clients out. And that's just to, you know, have that personal touch. Okay. I don't know what time it is. All right. Okay. Get the appointment. You are converting your A. The first thing you want to respond like as fast as always. If you ever work any internet, the quicker that you can respond to the lead. Complete contact information, save it in command, an opportunity. So command is our CRM. If you're that's the one that is per you and is included in another CRM if you like that, but command. And it's great. Determine their motivation. You can speak to it, set an appointment. We have some scripts help with converting the leads. Script. Another one is, I'm blanking on it, but we use it all the time. I'll pull it up here in a minute. Okay, what want most from their agent? Okay. Yeah, we took this poll to find out what do sellers actually from you. Well, the biggest price their home competitively. Help market their home. What's the time frame? All of this. Steps or help it. What do we need done? This house sell more, and those are other things they want. So don't know what this. So together my listing present out all of these things. What can I do and more to show sell the most common things that sellers want, right? So they're coming to you and understand the market conditions so you can properly communicate that to them. For the fix-ups and helping the home. One of the biggest mistakes that I made is, okay, I'm a people pleaser. So I've learned, I've not be a people pleaser in every instance because I want them to work with me, right? But being happy, you have to set expectations too, right? Like, so I was listing a house, straight up. They had this big wall, and then they have, what do you call it? Board and batten 3/4 of the way up. So and they're like, what do you think? We paint this wall. I know, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't I say yes?
Oh, it's so nice.
Yep.
Songs.
Yep. It's like the Bane, you know. From now on, I never do that. It's hard. You don't want to offend them. You don't feel bad, but you're there and you're the quarterback. You able to see the field, right? And know everything Boys wall was an issue, and I knew an issue, but I was like, it's okay. You know,
Okay.
a little paint. It's some paint a 17-foot wall because it was like that already. So painting those bright colors, neutralizing carpet, say, hey, you do need the carpet clean, or like you got to get this carpet replaced. And said carpet needs to be replaced. I meant like the whole this main and left the stairs and the loft undone pool table. But you guys, the stairs, that was the worst part of like they don't always listen. Our job, to be frank, in the nicest way possible, tell them what needs to be done. So yeah. All right. Confidence and trust. Are there any things? Benefits, take back the clothes. Oh, well, I only take so many people, blah, blah, blah. But you know, like, I don't really need you. You need me, kind of. Yeah. Not really. Yes, I get actually, if I did, I might take it back, you know, like this, I don't know that I can do this. Do you really want to? Then it's a full X%. I try to, I'm rather than the win-win. Let's try to make this work for all of us, and so that we're positive clothes, give them what they're looking for, trial clothes. So these are all just different ways that you can close. I don't know. Anybody know what a negative? Yeah. It's probably in the book. But oh, there we go. Yeah.
What would happen if
Yeah. I didn't know that was the name for it, but that may, okay. Okay, so when a question is answer it, when an objection comes up, handle it. But the difference between questions and objections, oftentimes we get really freaked. We think that's an objection. Sometimes it's just a question. They just want to know. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's an objection. So you don't have to like go right into these are from the start. Just it and then see if there's any follow-up questions from there. I think that's the biggest one when it comes to questions versus okay, pre-listing packet. So works for Keller Williams out of the office, and she does an amazing on listings. I learned from her, clear your schedule. Like that's the main reason I actually I ended up joining Keller Williams this time in like 2019. One of my friends here, he's like, you should see Laser and present. And I was like, I need everything she just talked about. I need her. She's like, how do I get that? And he's like, you got to join Keller Williams. Okay, sign me up. And I haven't regretted that decision at all. But, okay, pre-sale. Yeah. Yes. Uh-huh. She whips you into shape, right? she just had done one like class and there were series, and then a couple months later, and you gotta go. So then series, and then that's when we really worked out this sell, build the seller's confidence, answer their questions. So one of the things, and I'll send out in my pre-listing pack. Basically, I just create there's a couple of ways to do this. You can something, and I actually am thing like that. I have like a listing in a box thing where I like information in the box, and I'm gonna like hand deliver it to them, right? A lot of times I just send an email and I put in links to all the different things. So Ben and I, where we kind of go through our process, I link that. He wants you to do in that is include the seller's property, because if they've done their homework before you arrive to the actual, like, they're serious. So asking them to fill that out before, you know, your bold, right? It shows their commitment level every time. Not everybody does it, but I just send like, or you can do the I don't usually do that DocuSign. I try. I want to see. I don't send the DocuSign until later.
Do you mention to them?
Uh-huh.
Sure you fill
Yeah.
those out.
Yeah, I do in my. And then I send over my playbook, whatever you want to call it. I send that over, and then I also send over. I have like a guide about so I send that over, and so they already like I got a lot of information from our English teacher here. I'm thinking about rhetoric, the rule, you know, and I'm thinking of, okay, I want to appeal to my credibility, and I want to appeal the emotional. Is geared in that way so that I'm reaching the partnership who is the logical minded person. So I'll have my my proofs, you know, my, I guess, right? And then, but I think showing like, look how professional I am and how prepared I am, tools and resources that I have, like a part-time person can have all that. But do you know what I mean? In the business, and that I'm a professional. And then offering stories and appeal to that aspect, right? Experience smoother and or shorter by tackling common. My video is a 20-minute shortened, but I do say in my email, hey, watch this 20-minute video. But I'll bring you some crumble cookies with it. You know, I'll give you a reward. I kind of make a joke about it because I want them to watch it, prep work and stuff that they look and watch, and I show up. Then it's more just about relationship and asking questions and getting to their problems and how I can help solve those. You know, I don't want to dump for an about. I do a quick review of it because I read. So I kind of have to review things, but I'm not going to spend like at you this. And so if you need to look at it more, go sit there. State your value or what you bring. Okay. Will you review it in the listing present? Yes, I do. Does it eliminate the need Is it a primer for education you will provide at the location? Yes. Okay, so this is your yeah. Okay, KW has a show you where to go, but in KW Connect on we have a whole back office section where you can create packets and stuff, and they have some pre-made okay, so you're going to deliver your packet, your ensure all decision makers are going to be there. Get all decision makers there. Okay. Complete and practice your presentation. Review the lead sheet. So like in your sales call, right? Discovery call, you're going to make sure that that's what we talked about, that review the lead sheet. Arrive to location in a professional manner. Now, some people think you need to show up in a suit for you want to look professional, but I don't necessarily suit and tie. There's some agents who are going to do it all day. Friends who sells 100 houses a year shows up in shorts and polo. So
you should
probably wouldn't show up in joggers, but
professional really,
Mhm.
class,
Mhm.
and the guy that was teaching the class, the rule of thumb is
Yeah.
if he's wearing flip flops and short, you
Yeah.
can wear jeans and maybe a polo. Put a nice red shirt on. It's all
Mhm.
professional.
yeah.
Equal to what they are, like if they're good.
I know. Kind of the old school thought is in a suit, and I'm like, I'm not going, as a woman thinking about having to do that, it makes me like, you need to look nice and professional. Like, I mean, I think a nice pair or whatever you want to wear, or women, like I would show up in this. That's me. Okay. Although I have worn dresses that I think that looks funny. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference between like more professional dress. If you want to wear a church dress, you can. Okay. All right. Okay. The goal, right? All pre-done, and I'll have loaded into DocuSign before I get there. Is change commissions, because and then I through them in that moment. I like to just get input form, and so I'll say in the MLS you have the, and I'll just have it up and open, and we just quickly run through pre-done as possible so that we're not wasting. So some of the stuff you can already, pre-tax ID and as much as, but things like what's included, what it's going to do the check marks and all the stuff right there, because there's a little, and then it's that I did not know that was there for years. That was so dumb. But once I saw the PDF button, you can pop it over into your DocuSign and sign it all. Okay, so home and work with the sellers. So part of my is talking about what I'm going to do to help them. We do talk about the price recommendations and what we're going to list it for. I'm not setting the price, they're setting the price. So I'm just providing them with all of the information so that they can on how they want to price their home. Now, for me personally, like I don't like to list super high, high. Obviously, if it, then I'll, okay, well, let's try it for, and, you know, this is our plan. If we don't have, then we're gonna drop it. But especially in the market that we're in right now, okay, list high market, you're still gonna get a bajillion offers. Now, though, pure listing sit, and really the first 2 weeks for listing is the most important time. And when we talk about those some graphs that I have in my listing and that talk about that, hoping they're already prepared, but have a hard time. Like they think that down. And it's like, no, we want to list competitive so that we can up, right? The more people come, more offers and more opportunity for you to get you ever thought you could get on your house versus we're here and now we're here. And past 30 days, then it's like, well, how come your house market 30 days? Can we just, now we're gonna take 5% off, right? At least. Maybe not, but it feels that presentation meets seller needs and wants. So remember, this is about finding out, discovering, and you showing them how you help solve.
Next question.
You go into like what the pricing at? Do you go a kind of prepared
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah,
you
I
go
bring-
in all of the stuff? Like
Uh-huh.
here's all the things I think we should price it here.
Yep.
And then side, hey,
Yeah.
given
So
this
that's
information,
the presentation, right? So I'm gonna, one rule of thumb is like 5, 5, 5. 5 under contracts, 5 actives. Right. So 5 sold. Market has been doing in the last 6 months. I try to eat closer, like the last 120 days, but knowing that. So I try to see what is anything picking or choosing out of the solds. I'm going to our date. Right? So this is what's been happening in the past. This is currently, so you can see what these homes were priced at compared to yours, and they're under contract kind of thing. Okay, now here's our petition right now. These are the people that we're up against. That, let's look at the pictures. What does that look like? Comparison to your house. How do you think you, right? And then trying to price our houses competitive to the solds that under contract and the act. So on the active, you don't want to be the homes that are similar to yours. Nobody will ever come see your house. Like, okay, this person's like, I think we should come in 5,000, just under that, so that people want to come see your first.
Question. A lot of pictures, a lot of houses. On paper, you print it all out.
Blair, I do. I bring a fully in color print cost of doing business, and it looks better. But I also have in my the highlight, and I put it into my slides too. Okay, I even do. you.
Are attracted. Then why they told you. There's a reason. They called you. There's a, so just remember that going in. And you're not for everyone either. And that, right? You're not every deal. We only need this many transactions. There's enough business for all of. One of the things I love about Keller Williams is that mindset here. Believe that there's enough for all of us. How many deals do you gotta have in order to like not very many? Yeah. So this is you're the best for them. Believe that. If you believe that in yourself, but part of believing is doing. And the more experience that you get behind you, the more
I have my first one, and we went under in like 6 days, just found out yes, backed out. But my client, they're like, can you bring your business card over because we want to and tell them what a great job you've done, that they should use you. I'm like, okay. So he did that. This neighbor across the street, they're already gone. And and they haven't called me. Like, okay, that's fine. But I'm kind of like gonna follow up. I was like, I don't want to pester them. Follow up. Any tips for them? Like, I was just thinking, like, hey, I heard my neighbor card. I just wanted to follow up. I know you're in agents, and I'd love to and I didn't know if you had any. What if
interviewing. I'd love to. There are a lot of good questions to put about. I am someone a huge fan of right. But yeah.
Well, since you're I'll tell you, and what I think's the best. If you could just do it where you haven't had, if there's a time to do that, would you be comfortable? Or would that be something, you know, helping somebody like you do more? They'll listen to them and say, depends if you're not that excited. What do you think's the best way? But I want to make you like caring neighbor, want them to have the best. So it's my job to make you. So you're giving them an opportunity and showing them the way to make it.
by the time they move, like, you don't have this. So,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I was gonna say another an introduction to text, and they like create a text name, and they're like, hey, I wanted you to lenders every time I'm gonna referral is I just create a group and then let them take.
So I'm gonna call.
Yeah. About neighbors, about the home. No, this neighbor I hosted and it's your neighbor too. I know. Yeah. So.
How can I?
Because this is about them, not thinking of them. Okay, so moving on. When. Oh, yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Other person? You just say. You were putting out there that it was.
Yeah.
And then.
Yes, so, and I've done. Cards, thank you.
Small thing.
And it literally just. A drink, go get a drink on me.
There's billions of dollars that companies are making. People never use it. They lose
My
them.
dad would get cards all the time. He was sick before he passed, and like, you guys, stop him. They're still, well, or not expired, you know. But anyway, okay, so to command, so anytime you're gonna go do a event, make sure to put them in space because you've already recruited them, you're heading to an appointment, now they're like base, right? You can keep connecting with them over and over. So put it into your we have time, we'll go through that. Okay. Yes.
Is there like a command, or is it pretty much just you go meet with them?
Well, there is a go meet with Hunter, but I have a series on how to do command, like, yeah. Six, and it's actually put out by the orders. Forget, but just YouTube, see 6 days command. Yeah, you have nice handwriting.
No way.
Okay, so we get to listing. Send handwritten thank yous, and like Art was saying, anytime anybody does anything nice for you, on Eagle Mountain Citizens Facebook group. People are constantly asking for agents. Anyone shouts my name out, and a little $5. And some people I know them from like my kids' sports or what. Look them up, county website, send them a thank you. Okay, so I've never done business with them, but they are like recommend me. So someday, if they ever decide to sell, hopefully they use me, right? So yeah. Listing, wait, listing presentation. They don't really have anything for this, but we're gonna go through my listing. Some things to think about when you show up. There's lots of different ways to do, and you're gonna find the method that works best for you. But what you is ask my bag so that we can sit down, and so they'll my bag down. And I say, do you want to show me around real quick? So I'm doing this is I'm trying to just build a rapport with, like, get everybody to feel comfortable. We do a quick tour of the house. They'll show me. We come back. We sit at the table usually. They don't offer a drink of water. I usually ask for a drink of water. There's just have them to start serving you a little bit, you know.
What's for dinner?
Lee, remember what she said about it? Oh, she didn't? Yeah, there's something about and then you sit down, plus your and then I just things, and I like to personally like slides already. We've talked about already. I information. I'm like, okay, so you got this and this and this. You know, to look through anything, ask questions about them. I want to know what their timeline, what's important to them in their sale, what concerns what are they worried about with moving. And try to get all of those things out in the open first, and then I'm going to like 10 slides or something, and I'm going to quickly go bullet points of everything that's in my listing. Everything's on my listing guide, but let's do a quick review of what our plan is. And then I'll through the CMA. So the slides, I have like them already in packet, and we'll like go through it in more detail. And then talked about pricing strategies as that's important. And so at the end of all of these, like, what do you guys think? Where do you think it would be smart to list? I give a recommendation, usually a range. Because it's up to them, right? Like I can give them, they ultimately are the ones who have to. Okay. You want to do your best job, we'll look at it. Okay, any ahas? Has your thinking changed at all?
I'm sitting here thinking, man, I got the wrong agents filing.
For real.
I didn't get any.
A long time. I didn't start doing that stuff. Okay, but guess what? I think mine is too, I don't, I raw. Think of Gary Vee. Not gonna say F-bomb. But think of, like, through your follow-up system, maybe you have under contract to close or any type of thing, short video that explains where we're at. Hey, this is where we're at. It's great. Like, it doesn't have to be. One of our friends is a video, he makes, does like a ton of their stuff, and then he has a side, and so I had him do ours, and I feel like it's too, yeah, I mean, I try to be that way, but that's more authentic and more approachable. It's that better. And you don't do it. Yeah, that video costs to do. And I already want to redo it. And I'm like, why did we spend that money?
So you
For myself. There was a lot. You know what? Your phone is like probably one of the most high-tech tools that you own. Just use it. Right there. Yeah. And yeah. And I just did like perfect. And then we did some. I'm sure it's great. And if you ever want to edit it or do, I'm sure that's wonderful.
that video
Not really.
of, out in the process, this is a video that you, like a time that you're gonna send that. It's not like you hit FaceTime and
Yeah,
you're,
no, I have it cut into chapters.
oh, okay.
Send those out in different things. I just feel like it just needs to be like a minute, like this doesn't need. And really honestly, when I did full vision of what I wanted at the time, and now like this light bulb went in and how I want it. So that's the that is the good thing and bad thing of them on that, and you're not again them like we're the guy of the story. Our client is the, so how can we help them on their journey, wherever that's going to be. Mhm. Okay, any of this, you see this every time, right? This isn't, okay.
I don't know.
Try to be careful of the do not call. All right, let's see if I'm missing anything. All right. Okay. So,
You have almost 4,200 emails. Does not make me feel, because I have a bad.
on my phone, like, read.
Unread, yeah.
126,000.
What?
126,000.
That, it's because I just,
Yeah.
hey. Gotta pull it in.
You get market analysis from say.
What?
I'm reading your email.
That's the name of the street.
Live in Seattle. Let's take all next.
So. And I've reduced. So I'll usually, in my email, I'll send out the video with my, then I do like a quick. This is if I have already talked to them, or this is where I didn't actually. Then I have a listing playbook that I add, like 20 sellers property, if you'll want. No, in this email I didn't ask for it, but I do an estimated selling expenses, I break it down. I might recap also, pre-listing, I won't send out say, we'll talk about this tonight. Well,
This is an old.
Uh,
Percentage 3 plus 3%.
old. Yeah. And send an email with the comps and the. And then, all these things in my playbook that you can just do that right. Shoni sent over some examples for the new NAR settlement. You can do it on Canva. There's a bunch of templates. Elevated Agent has some pretty. Okay, so I have this whole, like this booklet that I send out. So hopefully they see. Gonna do, this is my. So or the colors, so you can read it now. But in this older one, different things. So UD, cluttered, lies, about all the things. So the windows, what that looks like, repairs, exterminate, bathrooms, do bedrooms, electronics, hide boards, plants, carpet. We're gonna clean them, but if they need to be replaced, they need to think about that. Closets, what to do with those, pet. Talk about that. How does that look? Does it need replaced? Book hill, front door, outdoor living. home exterior. I mean, these all out and like get a head start, like they could. They read through this and cement care. So they have a room that's like multiple purpose. Exercise, like give it a purpose, take out everything except for the purpose. And then bonus in the winter, then take pick now.
The one house that you said that you recommended they fit and they didn't get the stairs, so and did you kind of feel them out maybe doing a credit? Or do you not, you just share that and use that in negotiation?
So if they need help, then sometimes we'll put it on our Artsy account and have it done.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna presentation, talk about how buyers find we'll talk about our marketing plan. And the reason why this is because our marketing plan, the way hit every one of those types. 25 points from list. We're going to talk about strategic pricing. We're going to do professional stage to sell, professional listing on the PWS and MLS, target marketing, event. That I've sold. So I add up to them so they can see like those the staging that we do. When we live, oh, my newsletter. So anything, that's the number one thing you're going to do, right? Start. Reach people. Who do you send your name? All of my database, my entire database is going to get my newsletter. I'm at least 1 week. Social media, we're doing social media videos. We're going to hit that. We're going to do Facebook messages, Instagram, YouTube video there, and then we also put it on all of the social media. So our command, we have the ability, you just put the information in and it auto creates a website, like a landing page. It's for your command, so it's information and stuff. So if if you website, then when somebody clicks on it, or lead for it. Okay, so try not to send the utahrealestate.com site. Always send the link to guys. You're not going to get anybody's information that because when they click through the picture, right? But hey, that's you. So think about how utilizing your website in the best way possible. Hey, we're gonna contact other buyers agents. I always point out that our office has over 300. We have at least 100 or more meeting, and if they're not, it's from the who does that get sent out to all the agents. So our office who are actively who are going to receive their can do too is another newsletter. This could be basically the agents email in the state or in the area, and then you can send them out to that way. newsletters from other agents. Just listed, coming soon, emails.
I'm sorry, where can you,
That
are you?
You can just get them like on them, every agent.
Oh, yeah.
It just would take. But it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I get.
I get books from
producing
Sotheby's.
agent emails.
How many of them do you open? Is the question.
I
100.
choose the subject and they're like new listings, Alpine or whatever, and they'll have. And so then I'm like, if I'm curious, if I have a client looking in that area, I might. And also your email, great subject line. Them or not, they see an email from you. Email from you in the subject line. Is it best if they open it? Yeah. Really, the idea is, okay, and we had in August, it's a back to school in Eagle Mountain, and I was worried about it, like being up because I was in Europe for 2 weeks. Everybody was our sponsors and everything was all up to stress. But anyway, we get there and it was nice. We see the dark cloud. As they get closer and closer, nope. We had we had DJ, we had all of our out there, and an hour and a half. You guys, storms came down, and I doesn't matter if people don't show. You still got to pay for the talk. Still got to pay for the snow cone truck because we've. The storm was going for an hour. I'm like, okay, like this time, like let's just. Here's just passes over. So it said that we're gonna have clear. It kind of coming down again, and we're like, all right, we're going. You know, we're done. We're out of here. But our Eagle Mountain office was, you know what? It doesn't matter that it rained. Reached out to every one of the people in and we personally invited them to come. Connection, and we didn't have to talk about real estate, really. Our event, and hey, come. You know, we're here to give. We love you. Okay, so I was so worried. Anyway, yeah, I was failed afterwards, but it didn't fail. You know, it's hard to make those, hard to do that, but when you have a good, like you're selling every second, that's, we reach out to everybody. And then those call them up and say, hey, thanks so much for coming. We enjoyed seeing you there, right? Or send a thank you. So when we list, we talk to our buyer's agents. Now is, I think, Keller Williams. Maybe my stats are completely wrong and percent market share of Utah County and in the state. So tell them about the buyer's agents and the big market share. So the people who are doing business in our office are working. So it's important. And so we'll send out campaign postcards. Oh, right before the open house, I'll go and knock everybody in the neighborhood because remember that slide? It said that, what is it, 6 people come from. So we go around the neighborhood, hey, who, you know, we just wanted to let you know that so-and-so is selling their family who are looking in this area, send them to the open house tomorrow. Do that. And not a scary conversation, right? Because we're just inviting. Who do you know? Here's the perfect time. And then, we talk about the importance. And also, we include we include a listing home warranty. Elevate, has a list fee that's free for agents. Anything breaks, big things while it, then, depending on what it is, right?
And that's through KW?
Elevate.
Oh.
A service call, right? Yeah. This has worked for me. Like, I had a client in Mountain, and their home is beautiful, and their oven went out. I made a service call. I paid for this. I paid for it. They went out, and so. Well, I had them come out, pay the server. It's kind of a crazy situation. Out. You guys, this is gross. Oven wasn't, the burners are, they went in to go fix it, and there was like mouths heard everywhere. And also gotten in there and the electrical. Then it's covered under the home warranty. So then repair guy to come out, and he's like, so I was like, fine, sign it up. Just my client bought buy a new stove. Do is get a lighter and light the. I'm like, no. Don't need a lighter to light their stove. Like, it has night on its own. Like, this is just something to do. So, and I put it in because like this, I'm just, I'm going to do it. I'm getting less money at the end of the day, but at the end of the day,
When you
I
have,
could not sell a house.
do you go buy something new, or you kind of,
Actually,
big
I
condition.
went to the appliance, in Orem. There's an appliance place, bought one that had been refurbished. It came, I paid for the 1-year warranty on it, so that if it didn't work, then here. So
don't come.
these are the things your clients will love about you. So sometimes you feel like you're, they're like,
Being taken
whatever, it
advantage
doesn't
of?
matter. When we list, syndicate with over 500, web, pretty much every real estate web that we're going to syndicate with, and so it's going to push out different websites. We're going to do. There's going to be like a barcode or a text code or something. They, right, so that we can call and follow up with them. And also, I also like to do nighttime when people are driving in the neighborhood. It's not reflective. Oftentimes you miss the sign, and they might stop and get their information.
Do you have signs with the little LED lamp above them?
But if I did a
Okay.
different sign, I might.
My last house, and I thought it was great
Yeah.
because people are out at 5:30 and it's dark, but it kind of,
I talk about the importance of the smart. People don't understand. Some people do cause, and so we talk about the safety reasons for have those, and we about the showing service that we offer, and I use full in the time section so they can see who ability to accept it and talk about the benefits of that. And then we do responsive communications. We're going to give weekly updates, listing feedback, listing analytics, and skills. On the section where you can and capture on the Zillow website, backend, and then you can also get the analytics to see how many people are looking at it on Zillow. I know Zillow sometimes you but they do have a lot of people are going there, right? And then we talk about our negotiation. Home warranty that we provide as a listing. So there might be a deductible or limits. I think it's this is what elevated covers. Yeah. Staging, and then so this is really important. Showing availability and home warranty. And I talk about like price, condition, and location. You can't really location. It is what it is. In the best possible way so we can get the most amount of money. People aren't coming to the home. Then there's one of two things that is wrong. So let's keep going back and addressing those two. In the best shape, then it's for the and then we look at the comps weekly. That's my weekly feedback. Email is we talk about where the market's at, how many homes are on the market, how many are listed, what and then whether or not we're offering a home. Availability is important too. A lot of people showing us, do you want to sell your house or not? So we talk about importance that you can't control. We can't control what the competition are doing. Control the market. We can't control what the interest. The perfect buyer will walk through. So let's focus on the things that we can control. Things that we can't control. Especially like we talk about prices. Like we're gonna know what your neighbor's going to do who's listed in the same neighborhood price. So if they drop their price $10,000, you, right? So we may have to drop our okay. Rent to let your property at competitive market. What you paid. So many people think, well, I $100,000 for my it's worth $500,000 that I bought it plus $100,000. Not how it works, okay? So we have to explain. Yes, we're trying to get as much close as possible, but we can, in some cases, get everything that you need. Okay, if you want or what your neighbor says, and say they sold their house for whatever, and then it's like, well, my neighbor sold their house for blah blah blah, and I was like. Up and I said, well, actually, it sold for $1,000 less than that. So that, and then they think that's what it's. So it's an it says, and it's not what's gonna. Okay, but the value of your property is determined by. Accept, and buyers make their pricing decisions comparing your property with other sold properties in the area. So that's what, okay. Then I give it. These 10 years really bad, but I promise you the actual. Here it shows that okay, listing your house. Then 60% of buyers will look at your property. 30% of the buyers who are looking in that will come look at it. 15% of top market, the less buyers you're going to have. If you go just a little bit below that, and yeah, I know it's to list under market value, but it buyers through and to get competing offers. Not every time, but you're gonna get what you want out of it. Here's another one.
That's
So
hard to wrap your
blank,
head around.
you know what?
Because in our society, it's like, you know,
We can
you
negotiate.
don't see something on $1.20 for it, you know, just, but.
You were in my position. She just listed at 9995 and got multiple offers.
Okay, so going back to those multiple offers now, your buyer's just canceled, and you call her. Okay, that's how I've gotten a house back on. Called over.
And said, will you take the same offer? You were gonna accept that.
No. Right.
So, I don't know.
Say we had multiple offers, I'm calling every one of them. Send me to Best Buy X.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Clarkston, it was, you guys, buyer dragged it on all day. Finally, we were able to cancel it. The sellers were able to say, sorry, we're done. You know? And then I called the other ones and lowball, and I went back and I was like, look, this is where we're at. Are you buyer? Are they willing to pay for it at whatever? And came pretty close to that. And okay, so length matters too. So this shows them if price how long it's going to be on the market. More than likely, it's going to be long, and you're going to sell it for less than market value. But if you do market value, you're going to get it. Now, I always say, I don't crystal ball. You know, trends and things that I see in the market, but guarantee you a price, right? Basically that, and then we go into our, okay, let me find one that actually has.
While you're looking for that. This is like part of, this is your pre-listing package. Vary from this package.
So my pre-listing is gonna have my full listing where I go into way more detail about all of that. It's gonna have my staging tips and different beliefs on this. Do you send or do you not? You know what? Sometimes I send them. Gotta get an idea what we're gonna be, and I come in, talk about it.
So if you out of that same package with the person, even though it's been, we can have a lot of work.
So, okay, so the first thing that before I start any kind of paperwork is I want to, so I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna do a search and I'm gonna put in, but if it's a two-story home and I can't break it up like that, then what I do the basement square footage and then I just take that, subtract it from the above ground square footage. It's always going to be, and then whatever the difference is going to be the upper floor. Is that what you would?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it varies kind of depending.
Yeah.
The information is different.
Yeah.
How often, if I'm not, I say, I don't know the crazy. That is how it is. One of the things is true. The appraisals, the measure.
It's not right, yeah.
So if it benefits you, like.
Yeah.
If I can point towards something.
Right. I do that at the actual
Great
listing
listing.
appointment. I'll do that at the actual listing appointment. So here, what's a guesstimate? Then when we get, this is what the county records are showing. But I have an appraisal or do have something where we could check it, see which one is more.
Would you ever recommend, measuring? Because when I was doing home inspections, I would put that in there.
You as an agent aren't supposed, you can ask an appraiser to come. I need that, and I would pay for $100-ish to have an appraiser.
And when you do your listings with those, do you all in, or do you break it up by, or
Yeah,
do you
so-
only count what?
The MLS, you do have to know like what square footages are. So right now, it's gonna like take this, here's above ground. And the reason why the above ground square footage is usually the price per square foot than a basement is. And so like in cost of building. Shows the total and it divides to find like the average. But I don't ever really look at price per square foot really when I, so spelling the address right. I want to keep notes. Make a copy of this, and I take this with me to the C. This is the tax. It's cool because you can see, like, I mean, how much we owe. Right, where was that? Yeah, we have that mortgage. That was what our original mortgage.
Yeah, I was
that's
gonna
not what
say,
we
that's
owe.
not
Oh, they bought the
ongoing.
home for about this, or this is what they put down, right? But, okay, so I bought this, what, 3 years ago? I paid down some, but, you know, 3 years, paid out that much. So I know it's close to, I think. Okay, so, from here, I would print this. And under search.
Data, tax data.
Search. Okay. Then, when I'm searching, I like to do clicks. Right, probably do this different. Right, oh yeah, here,
What do you mean?
let me show you, right here.
Oh.
Previous
There's a-
MLS. So this was the list. And you can see, okay, it was that, here's another good thing too. Now, if it's been on market, now we have, well, their plans, what the total was. So sometimes if there's a previous listing, now, but information in is correct. So you can't look at it as like you still have to like compare with the previous listing says, this is what the appraisal says. Try to get your square footage. Case,
Then your second floor.
right.
So I'm trying to figure out,
Yeah.
bump
Did it
out or,
include my storage,
oh,
but listings, they always include the cold storage square footage. So I have a huge pool and it,
a lot of people.
so, yeah, so my square footage is, and then back then the basement was, they're different, right? So from here, really have no idea where would you go with this. Huh?
That's
Then
easy.
where did you,
The thing that it doesn't do is status, so I want to change that. Start active, save that.
save that? I like to do, I told you, 180. Well, you can actually go back as far as a year. Okay, so there's not very many that are populating here. So forward,
And how many do you like?
at least 5,
5?
6 for 6.
What do you mean for?
Oh, an
Sorry.
appraiser needs 6. At least on every appraisal that I've seen, there's always at least 6. Okay, so I don't know what happened to my mouse. Oh my gosh.
Turn off? There's,
Cameron, they need to be charged.
camera.
Okay, something else I like to what? Something else I like to bring up too is, if people have and stuff, those are transferred with the property in the rep sheet, but you still have to go transfer the ownership. You do need to find out who owns it. If that ever kind of ask around, basically go to the water,
I'm sorry.
have wells and water shares, you need to know that. You need to actually have a certificate to the water division to that information. There's a way to search just to make sure that it's accurate. And then it transfers at the sale, but the title company doesn't. So you actually have to do that separately through and that's done after the sale. So we're going to transfer it. I've done a few of those properties, like Nielsen. Okay, it can be.
I got it going.
Well, okay, so information I was gonna, still have some other things we're gonna get to with the playbook. I don't know even know if I board has queue in the background where there's a bunch of different forms.
I don't know. Start just 1 minute.
So we'll go here. You can go here. Okay, so we have to have with our brokerage disclosure addendum. So that's something you want to with every sale agreement. You're gonna need the new listing agreement, right? Updated one. Make sure you have the address right. Right, and one of the reasons why we go to the tax page is we also who's on record on there. So they'll have to transfer it back to us, or we sell it through the and then we need to make sure that we're trustees and sell, right? So who's the person to sign here? We got to know that information.
It's when you're buying something that's in.
Yeah.
So it's not.
So here is where your transaction fee and then a total amount if you're not that you're going to charge. Here, this is where now this is uncoupled. Just your commission. We're not going to 6% or 5 or whatever it was. Here you're going to put whatever is 2, 3. Over here is where you're going to put how much is buyer willing, or how much is average amount up to. So you can put a dollar amount or you can put a percentage. And then new playbook. Do that. Oh, you're gonna put. I always do a period month. Sometimes people do longer than that.
For the listing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something closes it, or if too. I'm gonna sign a listing agreement. If the sellers are ever unhappy, then I am not gonna lock somebody in for a lifetime. I just personally do to run their business different. They might have like if I'm paying for a that to be reimbursed to me, but I never ask the cost of me taking the risk of doing, of taking on the listing.
With your percentage.
Depends on my services and whatever. So if we go back to Canva, my listing that I haven't done, that Shoni provided to us in the playbook. The home seller, so I'm giving them, I'm not gonna spend a ton of time on this and like, but they do need to be aware of how that affects them. And so and then that's kind of how we talk about, there's, of a buyer's agent, like why do we want? So asking to that you had, Shoni, these different, professional advisory fees. He has some different packages, so your percent, because I do a lot. I've had taken as low as before I was first getting started, right? 3% would probably be my lowest, and do everything. And so I'm selling my value of all these things that I'm going to do it for you for 3%, right? So talk about, anyway, so he also has a thing approved by Dean, says like, these are the things that as part of this ad, the buyer and the seller do their transaction representing the buyer, but we can do things like fill out the contract, but we can say how much what do you want me to do?
You're a
And
pencil.
for that, I'm gonna your 1.5%, so the would be 4.5%. And so we're gonna talk about all the things that were necessary. Well, we want to make sure that the payment and that the deadlines and all the things are being met. Closed. If we're just like letting the buyer just go rogue and they don't have a, I don't know how many transactions they've done. I don't know, whatever. Okay, so we want to, so that we're able to get full. And I'm doing a lot of extra work. Okay, it's the one that I put into mine. So professional, choose your level of service. Sent over these templates. They're in the NAR playbook. Okay, so there's an unrepresented that I put in. And so he gave different options that you.
And this was all in that playbook?
Yeah. Okay, so another thing that we have is 79 ways that we serve our. What's my value? Oftentimes, and we don't know how to sell ourselves. What's our value proposition will be that we do part of that packet too. And then yeah, you're welcome. Okay, that Shoni. Okay, so this went out, and so this playbook is all in these important documents, and I'll show you where. But here's the whole thing. It breaks down the whole, and it talks about there's this with agent resources from all of these agents from around the go. Okay, so let me just show you what I would say. Already, we've gone through all of the data up here, print PDF. Input, see how awesome and easy that was. You're gonna, and then you're gonna go, we have on fraud here. I just like to just do everything right in. I just do it all. If there's any disclosures that need to be done with the age of the home, then you need that. Forgetting any other forms that we would need to know.
Do you have a transaction form?
So, okay, here is my personal thing. I personally think that every but before I had a transaction coordinator, had to do it all. Help, maybe lead you along, but I think that as Salt Lake Board of Realtors, they do a class on forms. There's like, I don't know, 90 parts. You should take that class. You need to know what's available. And my transaction for my legal forms. It's an addendum, and I've given them what I want. Once I have all of that done, then I transaction coordinator, and they take it from. That's my personal belief on it, and is that I'm legally responsible. So I want to make sure that other people have other beliefs on that, and that's okay. Your business how you want. That's just how I do. Art, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, what have you been doing? What have you been doing on the change with the NAR? Taking listing, when do you talk value of paying buyers?
We have another full playbook that's 13 reasons why needed or is valuable to the transaction. I definitely think that's important. Let's go through those 13, and I actually have it. Let's talk about it. Like, why do you? And I even asked them still about buyer's agents. I've listing presentations in the last week, and I had to go over that. I feel like I'm still working it out.
It's kind of
It's gonna be like, I think over the next 6 months, how we are gonna present it and stuff, but good verbiage that uses, and I can do it.
Your client end up putting something down for.
Both of them did. Now, I thought I had I had it with me. 3%. However, the keyword up to, and I feel like the best approach a budget. Oh, I didn't show. So, also do a spreadsheet with an estimated what their possible net is. So when we're talking about this, I used to have the fees coupled at the, and I would have it all one listing agent, buyer agent. But I talked uncoupled account. And so I get the buyer's agent's gonna get theirs, but these are the reasons why I'm here. And I also say, I don't think that buyers are gonna be, they're gonna ask for it every day, all day. And the new Utah real estate contract that should, so we can expect that every buyer will be for the sellers to pay for that. I don't know how much they've negotiated with their buyer's agent. So, and I talked about the up to, I say that it's 2%, then, we could potentially pay that, but what if the offer comes in, okay, at, and we put in a 3% budget, this is our price. If we have a 3%, it's this. You need. Does this look good to you either way? Are you that? Guess what? Let's look at. We want to counter. Do we want to counter with price? Do we want to counter with fee? Do we want to counter to the closing cost? Whatever it is. Once we have an offer, but let's put out there that we're willing to pay up to. The easy button is the section. I don't see any reason to do any of the forms and all that stuff now. Let's just do personal views on it. And maybe
That is, I would love to help them get it and go over the net.
there is a function on command where you can put pops up a net sheet too. I put all of my assumptions in over here. What I charge for my transaction fees, I pay my transaction. I put in like a guesstimate, and it's more than probably what they'll pay. I put in their taxes, which I show them where we got from. We got it from county records, right? We're expecting to close by the end of that, so operation's gonna be that. And then I remind them, hey, guess after closing, you would get whatever money or account back. So you could have you just need to make sure that that information, and that usually happens with title.
So like, if we sell a home right now, can you?
Yeah. And so all the money from January gets put into their escrow account through their mortgage. Right, if they have, right,
Yeah.
if they have a mortgage. They have a mortgage at this point. If the seller was going to be responsible for paying their taxes the day they sell, right? And then the buyers will pay every day they sell to the end of the year. So, if they've been collecting, they still have to be paid at closing upfront. Whatever's in that escrow account, because it hasn't been paid in November, that money would just be refunded to.
Okay.
So. After November, then there still might be escrow account, and it's not gonna be very much, right? They're gonna be responsible to pay at closing the cash amount. Buyers the difference. So, yeah. And so I put in that. I also want to know, like at the appointment, how much do you owe? Do you have a second mortgage? So we have to be a good opportunity to talk about, hey, buyers are do one buy down because, and so 0.1 or 2.2% of the loan of what the seller on this case, if somebody's like the total loan was 700, which it, but okay, if it's 700 that by 2.1%, you're like 1,000. So I put that number here too, you know. And then you can see how that it could be all these things. Okay, I want to know the HOA, if there's an HOA, neighborhoods are super, super high to know what am I paying and can that be split? Well, we're gonna put it in as the worst scenario here. You're paying for all of this. Does that case, this is your net. Does that look good to you? Scenario is we can negotiate some of these things. We can pay part of whatever, we can raise the price, whatever the thing is. But
That's great. You do this. Did you?
my assistant created it for me. Hey, let me tell you something. Class in 1997 at BYU, a 6-week class of one day. I didn't know how to work Excel until I went into my math and I had to learn Excel overnight. Guys, $50,000 program taught me a lot more. But the two things is, and I learned how to work a financial calculator. And I used
Excel. I thought it was sheets.
well, Sheets is Excel.
Yeah.
We just did that. And the black that's all included in this bundled form. I feel like the total and now includes what title insurance is gonna be. I'm not gonna put all that up. In the budget at $750 for the home. Rate is nowadays. Now here's another home is a larger home. For it, so you if it's like a you check with Corey, 5,000 square feet or higher. I've sold some pretty big homes, like 8 feet or something, and those are like 1,500. So that's we're gonna hit that. Raise at 3% here.
Mind if I take a picture?
Yeah, that's fine. And preemptively at the listing appointment, have these things here because I'm gonna use the same sheet. And put the bullets, the main here, that are in, that are so. And you can like copy the columns. So in multiple situations, like if you have 5 offers, you could create and have every like offer 1, offer 2, offer 5.
So they that because my seller is all about the net.
Sellers are. Let me tell you, I have a listing presentation, not. That's when I decided I gotta, actually, we had it in the bag. Ben had talked to him. He's like, so I thought Ben had like over everything. So I didn't come prepared with just talking about staging and how we're gonna help him flip it pretty and get the most amount of money out of it, right? Then we didn't get the listing, and Ben asked for the listing, and he's like, well, because the other rate, like all the brass tacks, like this is for the logically my. I should have an idea at the end of the day, all of my fees are gonna make. Now, emergency estimate only, it's not gonna be, but I've had some of my sellers like end of the day, and I had one lady, she wants out, even her numbers matched at the end, like it was all out there for her to see.
Professional marketing fee, is that your listing fee?
I don't call it a commission anymore.
I like that.
So, anyway, all of that up here together, but there at the bottom, and I just think that's.
I have an app that does better.
And so then what I'll do, what I do is I file and I keep my master and then make a copy and then I just title it as. So that way I have it when we come down to and then I'll just print a PDF of it. Yeah. Oh, and then I just attach that.
Y'all need a master's in real estate.
No, we don't. That's all pro formas and stuff. Although I do think it brokering. So Ben and I have gotten into commercial world. That's been pretty fun, exciting. I mean, I'm residential, but then a lot of the analysis on the end for the investors and stuff.
What's your?
Yeah, so is so I probably wouldn't be building any more than that. So like the markets.
So you're dealing mainly in multifamily, no?
No, we're doing office is pretty tough right now.
Yeah.
I think the vacancy rates on that are like people are looking at what can we do with this office into other. What I'm seeing really hot is an industrial still.
It's true.
We just sold one in at 5. Pretty good for Saratoga. The deal is that if we're running the numbers on, but industrial, I think the vacancy rate on that is 2%. I don't know, it's pretty low. So we've had some.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're doing pretty well, and industrial around the whole, but especially in the developing community. So Saratoga and Eagle Mountain and Lehigh are so client who sold the retail space, we helped them right on Redwood Road, and they're building about square feet of retail. So sign should be, I mean, they haven't broke ground or anything, but you need to figure it out.
Love it.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm passionate about residential. Totally different.
The shift.
But, and part of that is that he does, well, I told you he was a builder. Stuff we want to do. He just likes with like the business owners, you know, fun with, especially with these retail and the working with, I feel like even in Saratoga area, I feel like we're a lot like have this dream of I want to open a cookie shop, you know, and help them realize that fulfilling.
That's my neighbor. They're the couple. And
Oh.
so I have like 5.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we have a franchise too. And then this Saratoga cookie company called Dunked. It's pretty fun, and they're like made to be dunked in milk. Cookie, not like a soft cookie like crumble, you know.
Cool.
And they come like in this. It's really cool. It bought. Been really, really cool. We've helped this to build a building, and we helped planned out in Eagle Mountain that we're selling, and other clients of ours are gonna buy it. Oh, medical's really great right now too, yeah. So if office, no, medical office. So then building a retail on the main, and then upstairs will be some medical office. So we have who needs space, wants to expand, but is like scared. And he needs like 6,000 square feet. So our client, we'll build it. Okay. That's been pretty neat. Anyway, any questions?
I guess one of here is just kind of, it's
Yes.
sometimes not a class and review from the base. Then you pick up things,
You do.
little
I'm the same way, and listen to their businesses a little bit different. For me, like some of the graphs, it's like, I need that. So I my listing presentation to add all the NARs, and that's what I'm working on. Like I've had the last week, and I feel like I've been jumbled because so much all at once, and also I'm just what is the script? I don't like that. Where's the station framework for?
Well, there's two approaches that I'm seeing that are emerging. Interested in, but it's a little.
What is it? Curious.
So the one that I'm seeing more frequently is higher end properties, is that they're off almost without exception.
Yep.
But there are people who are saying, see it all, just put in what you want. I think that's I'm seeing that, and the agents who are saying, well, I don't want to fight that. And so they're just punching the easy button. I'll put 0 in there and it'll be funny.
Yeah, which I think is a terrible idea.
It's about, it's untruthful.
You're not setting the at the end of the day, you're gonna stop clients.
Yeah.
I think.
It was on a $2 million property, and I said, so I've done, properties. I said, okay, this has been offered for sale by, and then he offered it with a 2-name. And so he's essentially on it.
Yeah.
And then the guy picked it up, and I said, so does your client hate real estate agents? Am I going to be fighting it back?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the BS? Just ask whatever you want. I said, so, I said, we looked at several properties, and I said, I want to put you, help you be on equal plane. I said, we're looking, narrowed it down to 3 or 4, but they're all offering %. Do you, to put you on equal playing ground, where my client doesn't have to ask, well, how am I going to, or not, because we have an agreement to do
Right.
that? Would you like to do just the, you don't have to do it for everybody. You
Sure.
can
Right.
get in and out of the clown car with me, just let's make it this way. No response. I mean, his client is not friendly to work with. And unfortunately, I like to eat.
Same.
So,
Well, and
It-
you gotta leave it up to your,
but it's the distinct disadvantage. So by telling this story, you can say, you get your own story, but even, and he was presenting why this, to get it out of the way now. Because we don't want to make it part of the, he says, no, put it in free, and I said, recently came out with a deal saying, most of the time, almost all the time. We were saying, I'm going to use it all the time. Well, that's an unfortunate trend. I mean, if we're really hurting each other.
Yeah.
So that's one trend. The other trend is the full three are the ones that say, well, let's offer them 1.75. Let's offer them some. And the answer that I've made to that is, a few weeks ago, where before the NAR thing came, that I would simply act like it was fine. So I asked for 2% back, then made up the difference out of that way. It's part of the, so, and we wrote another offer for another property in this, you know, and these agent, what they're paying. It's a seller concession. It's yes or no. Simple.
Yeah.
You know, just, this is a seller concession. They're gonna, if you don't.
Right.
Now, the reality would, you know, help them.
Yeah.
I'd help my client. What they need to do, but I'm not gonna.
At the same time, like, I'm in the same thing, I get conditions for my buy. House, like, we're gonna come out we're gonna work it out, whatever that looks like.
Which is
We're
kind of a lead.
We're gonna do our best.
Give me a break. Share.
Right. We're gonna do our best to, and I really hope are doing their job and saying buyers, like, this is the way we've been doing it for 50. It's not about the commission. It was how are we commission that was the issue.
Yeah.
Offering nothing, only time will tell. Our
Well,
It's-
you guys want to hear my story?
yeah.
Tell the story.
I was and I nurtured them throughout the summer. I did the house. Finally, through patient, and I got so my first one, there were some things. Normal listing presentation. It was like the next day. And he's like,
So,
actually, I say that buyer agent commission. And I kind of, I never told him that. I never really heard in the office that that's an option. We were all just talking about like, never gave him that option. He was like, I that form and put 0 from it on Saturday. So tried to explain, but he would not have the. He knew how it was supposed to be.
you thought you did.
Yeah, and he's like, no, 0, so I need a new form. I'm like, okay, I'll verify good morning. You know, I said it nicer. I got on my call with Jeanette and Cameron. What Steve said, he thinks the best way to represent and then, but prepare them that it will be negotiated. It's been helpful to know that
Yeah.
sooner. I had a 2-hour conversation that we would probably can't do 0.
Yeah, okay.
No one had told me and negotiate. So that's what we ended up, what we've done, and I negotiated. So I have an offer, it's above asking price. Buyer wants to go with an unrepresented It was open house. Because I pay the buyer agent commission, or just work something out, that I would much rather work with an agent. I had an offer. It was $1,025,000 plus their plus the buyer agent commission at closing. So an extra 30 grand.
Sure.
At closing.
It can be done.
Yeah, and I told my son, like, I negotiated really hard. The whole thing that's happening now. This client, because the property, if I know the commission,
Yeah.
like, you're telling me negotiated hard for you, so you didn't have to say it again.
I want to eat pizza all day. 5-inch waist. That's not gonna happen.
You know,
I did put 0. There's other offers. Nobody else said 0, but I need this, because that's what he.
and
Well,
honestly,
I think it can be helpful, and I'd like to have that you're here and that we're talking about. You're so smart, so grand.
I'm a little overwhelmed.
This
so
is
I
when the meat
appreciate
of the
that.
deal happens. But in commercial, they really don't put it on top. You always do. So we're being in place, which is kind of nice. If you get it. But in the commercial, you negotiate otherwise, on top.
and the questions that we prior, I mean, I guess what we call it, oh my God, what's the commission structure? The question that we ask for a commercial bill. Tell us, oh, it's a 5%, 2.5%, 2.5%. We paying the listing agent, or there's no buyer. And it's like, okay, well then we gotta go back to our buyers. So it's always never been. I honestly hate the new changes. I think we're gonna make
Those that are left.
I just think leave when it was all, I do think that buyer's agent, maybe they weren't doing the best job. I don't even know where they get paid and how it's paid and, but at the same time, things wrapped into their work they possibly can. So if they can't have that, they're gonna try for it all day long. The bottom line for them is their cash flow. So
The other thing that's really interesting is that buyers or clients can always talk a big game about it. But it is astonishing how
yeah,
they walk in, I've had clients and they want to walk asking for it.
Yeah.
We may piss them off, but and they're in that direction, but it's astonishing how this to this property or if they yeah.
it's true.
So where I have a little bit of a problem, and give me your thoughts on this, Courtney, but try to tell people the truth.
Just good.
I think it is. But most people really, for whatever reason, the truth they want the rosy scenario. Yes, that's true, was working with a client who recommended, and they came in and talked to for 900,000. And he says, well, do you want to just, you want me managing?
Yeah, are you,
I mean, you, 30 years ago, and you're still mob on the walls, you know.
right,
I mean, you're saying it nicely. There's needs here, the kitchen. You might be able to get 1.4, but you put 400 into it. I want to do that, and it's a mic.
yeah.
Well, you know, I've got this great something. Truly, they are, but you know, this is reality as far as you know. That listing somebody who said, yeah, I can get you this. And then, and I'm failed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did they fail?
No. They could work.
Yeah.
And, but before I left, and I've been back several times, sort of like you, that's what relationships are the key. Before I left, the person didn't know that could be wrong. This isn't real. I mean, occasionally stupid buyers who show up.
Not likely.
The probability is,
Yes, and that's why I tell like buyers are gonna make their buying the same comps that price.
They're- yeah. Now sometimes, I mean, our up in Bountiful years ago, the appraisal didn't come in. Appraiser and said, a lot of people, the appraisers. But I said, did you consider this and that? I couldn't find any. I'm not an appraiser, but wouldn't it make sense a better neighborhood to break it on? Because or not, it just doesn't make sense.
Right.
He says, yeah, can you send me those? Needs to go. So sometimes they're using bad, but most of the time you're absolutely regardless.
Well, and it's all subjective. We can look at the same, with, I mean, you interpret that data differently.
Yeah.
And we can also pick and choose what comps we that maybe isn't the rare.
Right.
And that's why it is important to know where you're listing.
Yeah.
I sometimes, Sandy especially, like that is, there's pockets, like you can't do like half-mile radius.
Why?
And you can't look at a half mile and say comps within half mile are right.
Yeah.
Looks at that, are they looking at the right comps? Because neighborhood right here might be better comp with this that's maybe a mile away.
Yeah.
But it's the same types of homes in the
It's
neighborhood.
within that.
They're the hardest cities to comp and
Yeah.
work. One,
Are you okay?
yeah. I'm gonna head to go stay at the house real quick. I'm here for the questions.
So, client, you know, I've had the about why the buyers backed out. It went really well. He said, well, you can send me the inspection.
It's nice of me.
Excellent. They took the time to delete the block off. And she was very nice, and she said, if you want to send the people who are wanting to make an
Oh,
offer,
wow.
this will help them.
I mean, there have been times where
Yeah. Oh.
Just so I can.
Over to my clients, and I told them there weren't any big normal things that you would see on a 19-year-old. Been texting me this whole time, like, on page 80, this isn't true, and this isn't true. Talk, and then he's like, actually, I think it's best if you call 20 or 30 minutes. And I did not send this to debate this.
No.
Yeah,
Helpful.
right.
So that's what I am not here. This is just information. You know, you might know how your house works, you know.
What
Well-
would you say, Courtney?
In that case, I feel like there is a professional, but every inspector who might find
Yeah.
different things.